The 5 men that have been accused of raping and killing the 23-year-old woman in India are standing trial today. And of course, the entire country is getting involved in this case. You're seeing protests. Both men and women are taking to the streets asking for stricter laws against rapists and people that harass and molest women. But at the same time, we also have so-called spiritual leaders that are blaming the victim, which, as I mentioned earlier, died as a result of the crime against her. So
And now some of the protesters are saying that the defendants shouldn't be able to have lawyers. Look, it's an incredibly serious issue. I love that people are paying attention to it. You're not going to fix it until people are mad and they're in the streets. Okay, that's great. Okay, the castration and the death sentence and the no defense lawyers are terrible ideas. Because remember, you think you got the right guys in this case. But if you argue for no defense lawyers, you're going to castrate the wrong guy. How do you know you got the right guy? We want to go after the rapists. We want to bring them to justice. We want to make sure it's them.
Yes, I think that justice is what people are asking for. If you deny them defense attorneys, then that's going to set a terrible precedent in your country. Yeah. You don't want that. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know what this so-called spiritual guru had to say. His name is Asaram Bapu, and he says the following. She should have taken God's name and could have held the hand of one of the men and said, I consider you as my brother, and should have said to the other two, brother, I am helpless. You are my brother, my religious brother.
Yeah, because when you're being raped, taking the hand of your rapist is usually an incredibly effective strategy. And pleading with them, well, I'm surprised that that wouldn't work. I mean, think about how disgusting this guy is. That he thinks, oh, like, if you just asked them politely not to rape you, they probably wouldn't have raped you. Remember, they beat her and threw her out of the bus, and she died. Yeah. They raped her so viciously. I'm not sure appealing to their religious values would have done the trick.
Yeah, she had internal injuries that were so severe that she literally died. And she had a male companion with her who was beaten with a metal pipe. So, yeah, pleading with them probably wouldn't have worked.
And by the way, he doesn't say, hey, they shouldn't have done it based on having values. He says it's her fault for not making a religious argument in the middle of a rape.
Right. He continues to say, mistake is not committed from one side. The accused were drunk. If the girl had chanted hymns to goddess Saraswati and the guru Diksha, then she wouldn't have entered the bus.
Okay, well, that's okay, except that you're a lunatic, and none of that is true. You can chant all the hymns you want. It ain't going to stop a rape. And what, like, she wouldn't have gone on the bus if she was chanting the right hymns? Yeah, I guess so, because she would have been in an insane asylum and she wouldn't have gone anywhere. Oh, look, I don't believe in Hinduism any more than I believe in Islam or Christianity or Judaism or any of this other voodoo. And unfortunately, a lot of people believe, man, if you're born in a certain culture, but you know it's irrational. How is it that you happen to be born into the one right religion? Everybody else is born into the wrong religions. You just drew the right card, and it turns out you should have prayed to Diksha. And if you just go hum, 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 whatever the hell it is. So if you're a Hindu and you are offended by that, and I know Hindus who would be offended by that, that's a sad day for you, because that shit ain't true. Okay? That's just the reality of it. And it ain't going to stop a rape, and it isn't going to stop cancer. It isn't going to stop a damn thing. Now, being decent and moral to your fellow man, that's great, and that's what you should do. And if you do that because of religion, fantastic. If you do it despite religion, that's good too, okay? And oftentimes religion has you doing the opposite. But chanting isn't going to get the job done.